I want to share with you some ideas about how to make better games with some examples I ran into. Let's jump into it. First of all, the most important advice is to have an explanation about the controls of the game. Most new developers doesn't make a tutorial or description of the controls, therefore the users doesn't know how to play the game. In this case, most of the times, many players doesn't notice some functionalities. For example, they don't know that the character can jump, so a description of the controls is really important. In my game, I show some instructions: tap to turn and don't hit the cubes. In this case, the player knows how to play the game. Another important advice is that make the game easy for the player, but make it look hard. If the player manages to finish a level that looks really hard, then he will feel himself successful. I can give you some examples in my game. When you hit the corner of a cube, that feels really painful and really annoying. In this case, the game doesn't look hard, but because this is possible, the level is harder than it looks. No man! Again! What? I have found a solution. If I rotate the cube, then it is way harder to hit the corner of the cube, so the game becomes way more easier and not as annoying. Now I can make the level harder with easier elements, so the player will feel more successful. Another example is the following. When two objects hit each other, then the player will feel that he has failed. But if we lower the collider of the objects, then on a little contact, two objects will not hit each other, and the player will be really happy that he thought that he will fail, but he managed to do it. In my game, I have lowered the collider between 10 and 15%, so the player can enjoy a more exciting gameplay. One important idea is that the game should have new elements, new movements and new enemies every level, so the player will enjoy the new parts of the game. If the game doesn't contain these new elements, then the player will lose his interest. In my case, I have added a new enemy type, the orange cubes, which decrease more points on collision. I have also added moving cubes, so the player will have a harder time to avoid them. When you make a game, one of the most important things is how does your game look. The easiest way to boost the look of your game is to choose colors that match each other. Many developers use the most basic blue color or the green color, which are really annoying for the eyes. You can search on the internet for colors that match blue and you will find really good color combinations. For example, I have chosen the yellow color and I have found out that the color red, blue, green and white matches the yellow. The last idea for today is to test your game with your friends. They will have another point of view and they will help you to improve your game with their user experience. For example, my friends ask me what are the controls of the game. Why is the second level so hard? And why does the game have so bad backgrounds? One friend of mine collected all of the cubes and asked me why he has such a bad score. Then I have figured out that I really need some descriptions. Thanks for watching. If you want to see new videos, subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter. See you next week.